So you're saying you don't have anything to start with?
I don't have any start conversation topics. No, I do have some things to talk about, but they're gaming related.
Yeah, you can't talk about gaming things in the start.
I know.
It's against the rules.
Well, pick something that isn't gaming related. Not the weather.
I could pick something not gaming related when you're not turning into a robot.
Ah, for God's sake, I'm not even doing anything.
Be boop. I'm having double holiday.
Yeah, you are. You're going away to America.
America.
I can't help but say it without the A.
Americans.
Or the E.
I don't know how they speak in San Francisco. I don't know if it's like some sort
They speak English.
I didn't say what. I said how.
They speak English badly.
No different from around here, then.
We don't speak English. We speak Scottish.
It's just bastardized English.
So then you'll be fine in America.
Yeah, I'll understand everything. Everything perfectly.
What part of San Francisco are you going to? The pretty part or the get shot part?
Is there a get shot
Trick question. It's all get shot parts.
I'm going to prison.
I didn't mean you were going to do the shooting, but
no,
I don't know what you're going over there for, really.
To visit Alcatraz. I'm going to prison.
Can you ask them just to leave you there? I bet that's like something they get asked all the time by like mothers of unruly children, and the people who run that place now must be so fucking sick of people like nudging them, going, "Can I leave my son here?"
I should do all those cliche things just to annoy them.
I saw a holiday program once where it was a bunch of reps in Ibiza or something like that, and in their staff office they had a big board up with scribbled on it every question they get asked every single day over and over. Like, do you like working here? And under they put like sarcastic, "No, I've just worked here for 10 years because I hate it."
Well, people do all sorts of jobs that they hate for long periods of time just because they have to.
Yeah, but going to Ibiza, really? Being a rep in Ibiza is a job you would hate? I hate it, but normal people might like it.
You might get sick and tired of seeing people being sick all the time and dealing with. I don't know.
It's like that Simpsons bit where they're at the club that celebrates New Year's every single hour, and the guy they say, "Oh, you must love this! It's celebrating New Year's all day long," and the waiter just goes, "Please kill me."
It'd be like you being stuck in BioShock.
Yeah, I got perpetually stuck in New Year's as well. And look what happened to that. That's gaming related. Scratch it. Start all over.
Start all over again. Yeah, so delays with podcasts and stuff because we've been busy.
Don't pretend the reason we haven't done a podcast for a month is because you were on a 2-day holiday to Poland and are yet to go on a holiday to New York.
I'm not going to New York.
Sorry, I meant America.
It's all the same.
I don't know why I thought New York.
Technically, I'm going to Philadelphia at first.
Well, now you're just changing the story.
Yeah. And then there were 3 bowls, and one of them was too hot, and one of them was too cold, and one of them was just right.
Do you say bowls or bowls?
I think we should get started.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the braingohurty Gaming Podcast. This is episode 55, a little bit late.
A little bit by 2 weeks, sorry.
Just a little late, yeah.
A month.
Yeah. We were doing stuff and thing. No, we weren't. Anyway, moving on. I'm Blighty, he's Flick.
Hello.
We get together and talk about games, mostly. Mostly?
Yeah,
it's not even mostly anymore.
It's exclusively. No, it's not exclusively, because the intro bits aren't.
Intentionally so.
Yeah, so even though it has been 4 weeks, this is probably just going to be a quick get back into the routine type thing, but we'll mostly cover what we've been playing, maybe a little bit of news, emails, I assume. I know we've got at least one, because you told me.
To be fair, there hasn't been an awful lot of, big news.
No, just another Xbone 180, just Gamescom in Germany, all that, little stuff.
Yeah, all the little stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get started with the games we got played, which I know is always the first thing we cover,
yes,
I had a little game to play with a little picture I've had on my desktop for a long time now.
What do you mean?
The whole D&D thing where you've got lawful good, neutral, etc.
Yes.
I found a mashup of all the different... No, this isn't what one you are. This is one where someone's done each one and what company in gaming they think best fits each role and the reason why.
All right, okay.
So either I can read them out or you can, have one guess at each, say, because there is like 9 in total.
No, there'd be too many. And I'd just...
well, no, it's major ones only. No indie devs, no small companies. They're all really, really big companies.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have the same perspective as this person, but okay.
I agree with most of them. Let's start with lawful good. Who do you think is the lawful good company?
They'll probably put Mojang or something on there.
I said big companies. Mojang isn't big.
It's big now.
It's profitable. It's not big.
I equate the two to be the same.
Okay, well, fine. It's Nintendo they put there because they are squeaky clean, family-friendly entertainment for decades. So that is lawful good.
I guess...
Neutral good, who do you think that is?
They probably put like Sony or something like that.
Oh, you were close. It was Valve. Free trials and great games on sale. All sales are final, no refunds. So it's kind of like there's a good and the bad. So they're neutral. And then chaotic good. So this is a good company, but not necessarily always do...
this would be
things.
Sony then.
No!
What?
No,
Who the fuck
no.
would we put for that then? Ubisoft?
Rockstar. Because they make good quality games, but if the things in the games offend you, tough shit.
I suppose.
Like, for example, in GTA 5, it's now been confirmed you can smoke cannabis.
Oh, yes, this is...
Which I'm sure will make all the parents very, very cross.
Oh, yeah. Amongst all the, killing hookers and stealing cars and blowing up buildings.
Yeah, the line was drawn at being able to smoke cannabis.
But smoking cannabis is...
Oh, someone should make a video of some of their characters smoking cannabis while running over a prostitute they haven't paid.
It's one step too far. I can just see people doing reaction videos to that.
I'll be on This Morning. Does This Morning still exist?
I don't know. I was awake at that point. Yeah. I assume
you being awake isn't proportionate to whether something exists or not.
the morning exists.
Or maybe it is. Maybe when you go to sleep, the world just stops for a little while.
Yeah. Everything just stops, freezes.
Anyway, lawful neutral now. We're on the neutrals. Lawful neutral. I would actually say this must have been made a little while ago because I would say this company is now not lawful neutral.
I'm going to use like the blue whale approach to this and answer Sony to all the answers, and eventually I'll get one right. So I'll say Sony.
Okay, it's not Sony, it's Blizzard, because they are reliable, respected maker of well-polished games.
Reliable?
If rather uninspired. This was obviously made before Diablo 3.
Reliable?
This was made before Diablo 3, also before they were joined with... Who was it they got joined with? Activision?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's Active Blizzard now. Okay, now true neutral?
Sony.
Yes. Now you can't guess Sony because that's where they've put them.
Damn.
And their description for that is, on second thought, scrap the used game DRM. We don't want to piss off our fans, so they're kind of true neutral. Chaotic neutral. I disagree with what they have here.
I'm assuming they're going to put Microsoft here then.
No. Activision. We'll keep pumping out endless sequels for as long as you keep buying them.
Pretty much.
I guess that is kind of chaotically neutral.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything especially...
They're just being uninspired. Yeah. Okay, now we're on to the good ones, the evil ones.
Oh.
Lawful evil.
Capcom?
No. They went for Zynga. Or is that how you pronounce it?
Zynga.
Zynga, yeah.
I don't really...
Successful business model based on copying other companies' games.
I don't constitute iOS/Android games as games. I don't.
Neutral evil.
Capcom?
Is this your new Blue Whale /Sony? No, neutral evil was Microsoft. Always on, always watching. And then finally, chaotic evil. There's only one evil company left.
So there's going to have to be EA that they've left then.
Yes, it is. 2 golden turds, 0 fucks given.
Capcom didn't even get a mention.
Nope.
How the fuck did Capcom not get a mention?
They're not big enough.
Count.
Well, I think the EA's one is definitely deserved. They have been voted the worst company in America 2 years in a row, and that's what that's referencing. 2 golden turds, and they don't give a rat's ass about either. They think the company... we've already complained about that before.
They're still making money.
Yeah, I remember talking about it. They blamed gay people, and who else was it? They blamed minorities or people who were opposed to minorities, like that people hated them for putting gay relationships in games, even though they are not the only ones to do that, for the record. And nor were they the first. Let's not get back onto that.
Or the last.
Yeah, they won't be the last. So now we can go on with things as usual if you want. Although my list of games played is hilariously long, and I'll probably forget some of them.
I figured yours would be hilariously long, and
yours hilariously short.
Is that mine is hilariously short. But I did sit down thinking I haven't really been taking note, as time goes by of the games that I've been playing. I thought I'll sit down and try to remember, and there were a couple of things that I thought I would have forgotten actually, which is quite surprising. But the list is I could count it on one hand. And you think after a month,
I can't count in one.
Surely I must have been playing more than 5 games, but apparently...
Well, how about... I obviously know some of the things you've been playing because we've both been playing them together. So how about I save those ones, I just ignore them on my list and you handle those ones.
Okay.
So I'll cover the ones that you haven't played.
Right, okay.
So I can get a couple out of the way because I've kind of finished up Rogue Legacy. I didn't mention it in the month we've been absent.
Yeah, absent.
I finished the playthrough. I did New Game Plus off camera, and I don't really have any desire to do any more yet until they add more content, because you can just keep on going through New Game plus, and it gets harder and harder.
Added item just keep going, does it?
Yeah. And once you've got all the upgrades and all the gear and stuff, I don't see the point until there's more content, which hopefully they're going to do, because it's been a very big success of a game. I've also been doing Hitman Absolution, but that is purely for the Challenge Run series videos I've been doing. I actually had someone email me and give me 2 really, 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 really hard contracts to do that took me hours.
Someone trying to set the challenge for you.
Yep, they were very difficult. I had to give in on one of them. I could almost beat his score, but I couldn't quite. And I asked him afterwards when I uploaded it, how did you do it? How were you able to shave those few seconds off the time? And he actually went a different route when he was escaping that meant he could do it faster. So technically with that knowledge, I could then go probably better his score, but I kind of, after the first one took me hours, I allotted just, if you can't do this in this amount of time, just record that you've given up. Otherwise your OCD will have you sitting here for hours again.
Yeah, you would probably end up...
I did that on the very first one of his that I did, and in the end I didn't even do it in the way he did it, so I actually showed him a better way to do it. But that's the fun of the mode. Although the only way to better someone's score is to do their criteria faster. So really you're being more efficient, if anything.
Yeah. Which usually they in design of the level, I would assume that they have already kind of predetermined the most efficient way of doing it. And it could be by chance that you've stumbled across a better way of doing
you're given the hint in the case of you're shown the order in which they were murdered.
Right.
So that can kind of clue you into how things happened. And if you just walk around the stage a little bit, you start to form a picture in your head about how things happened.
Right, okay.
And that's part of the fun as well. It's like you're doing CSI crap. You're working out in reverse how to perform the murder you're about to perform, etc.
Nice. Bit of Minority Report.
Yeah. Except you're not stopping yourself. You
get more time for that for premeditated murder. Just saying.
I know that.
Food for thought there. I've decided.
Actually, a random aside, someone is being done for actual premeditated murder on the basis of a tweet, which I think it's fine that tweets are used as evidence. However, the tweet in question was very clearly not related to the accident which a speeding driver caused a fatality. Like months prior, he said something on Twitter like, "Who wants to come for a death ride in my car?" And they're using that as evidence he was going out to specifically murder someone, and he was convicted for it. And that's ridiculous because it clearly wasn't intended as such.
Stupid.
But it just shows you there are idiots, so watch what you say on Twitter.
And out on the road, there are idiots too.
Yeah.
So watch what you say.
He obviously deserves something to happen, but he did not plan a murder.
I've decided to go with the amnesia approach for our unexplained absence.
You didn't play us?
Yeah. We weren't away. It's just that everybody else had amnesia.
Right.
That we've done an episode that doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's an episode 54 and a half. So it's like 2 hours long. It's probably our best work.
It's got full frontal male nudity in it.
Which is really hard to do when you're audio only, let me tell you. It's a bit harder than you would think. The sound effects.
Try it. No, don't.
I've always been playing Shadowrun Returns, and I can't remember if I've talked about it at all, given how long it's been since we podcasted. Apart from that one we just talked about.
Talking about how excited you were for it coming out, and how it was, one of your, the original was.
Well, I did really enjoy it. I haven't actually finished it yet, because I stopped playing it when I discovered that near the end they forgot to put in a vendor that sold med kits, and then I told CR, and he passed it on to the person who knows who's making it. And thankfully they patched it in since then, although I've been too distracted by other things to go back and do the last mission just yet.
That sounds an awful lot like cheating. That's like, there's part of this game that I could really use a big gun right now. I know, I'll speak to my friend who knows a guy who's the developer. Go put like some big nasty guns in at this point, and it'll help me get past the next section. All right, okay.
It's the point of no return, and prior to that you have no method of shopping, so you have to have a vendor for everything there, and they just simply forgot to add medkits to the list of stuff for sale.
Like, can you see it from the other side of the fence that
nope.
set of circumstances is just
if you played the last mission, you'll know it is required because it's so long. No. Enemies who give you a bonus attack.
You're taking the wrong context here. I'm getting.
Oh, you're taking the wrong context.
No. I understand that they may have missed something out in the game, and you're doing a good thing by telling them that this maybe should be there. But the fact that you have that capacity.
No, you're being stupid.
No? How many other people out there can play a game at the start and then realize that maybe something's a bit fucked with it, possibly a problem, and then actually get like semi-direct contact with the developers to fix it pretty promptly?
Anybody on Steam? Look at Payday, for example.
Actually, I suppose.
Yeah, you haven't seen the few patch notes, have you? They've changed quite a lot.
I have. Remember, I read through the patch notes that they put in.
No. There's been another patch, and if you haven't had Steam on, you're going to have to get that.
Oh.
We're now planning ahead for something. Never mind.
Jesus Christ!
It's turned into let's plan our evening out live in recording. Anyway, Shadowrun Returns. Yes, I enjoy it. I encourage everyone to buy it, especially now that it's fair at the end. What else? I played Dynasty Warriors 8.
Everyone can thank you for the
thank me for it. I've been playing Dynasty Warriors 8 just because I like smashy Chinese anime fun.
I do too.
I did a video on it if anyone's interested.
Want to fork out like 50 quid for...
Yeah, I only got it because I had lots of loyalty points.
Yeah, that's the only thing that put me off. Because we really didn't have anything new to play at the time. And that was going to be our tiding us over game. However...
We'll still get it in the future when it's cheap.
Yeah. We picked up some other things to tide us over in the meantime, which we'll cover at some point shortly.
Yes, once I kill a few more things on my list.
Okay.
I played a free-to-play game on Steam called Elsword. It's anime 2D fighting up. I did a video on it. Don't really have much to say about it. So
fighting up?
Yeah, well, it's very like a set of RPGs I remember from the PlayStation era, but I can't remember what the RPGs are called, where there was like active battles, but then it became 2D, and it was multiplayer within the confines of the fight. I can't remember what they're called.
Did I play it?
If you didn't, you watched me and someone else play it.
I don't know.
But this was a long time ago, and it was early PS1 era, I think.
Okay.
I think it was before PS2's time, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, and sadly no one in the video commented on the series I was alluding to. Never mind. You're going to annoy me now, because I'm going to go looking for it.
Later.
So, other things I've been playing that you haven't. Other than a bunch of indie games, I'll move on to the last one. Actually, is an indie game as well. Spelunky.
Oh yeah.
Which is actually available for free to play on PC. The original 8-bit version of it, which I'd been playing for a little while before this came out, which is a re-release of the version that's on Xbox Live with all the DLC for free.
Shiny.
And it is very worth playing. It's very good fun. It'll kill you in hilarious ways of just physics getting the better of you, like getting. Like, I was mining at one point with a pickaxe you can pick up, and I hit away a bit of rock, moved forwards, and because there was a heavier stone above that stone, it fell down and crushed me. And another time I threw an arrow at the wall, it bounced off, broke, and then the point of it hit me and killed me. I've had some hilarious deaths, some hilarious missteps. I've done a video series on it, although because of lack of interest in it, I'm not sure I'll be recording anymore, but the game itself I've put many hours into so far.
I've watched a bit of the video series. It seems all right. I guess in the same sort of confines of
Isaac.
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy. I would
Rogue
say.
Legacy was that. Yeah, more like that. What's the dog fetish all about?
Well, you have damsels on each floor, which you can either sacrifice to Callie to get items, or you take it to the exit to the next floor. They'll then kiss/lick you if you pick the dog, and that gives you +1 HP. And you can either have a guy damsel, a girl damsel, or a dog damsel.
You lick the dog.
I like wet slobbery dog kisses.
Okay.
That's the most popular common damsel, by the way. The dog one.
Everybody.
That may partly be because the male one looks like PewDiePie and the girl one looks like Betty Boo.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
Never mind.
Anyway, okay, so you're covering that game because we both played it. I'll go on to the indie games that I'll try and get through fairly quickly because I've been playing quite a few indie games because in 1 week I got contacted by 5 different folk.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it was like, it's been a while since I covered an indie game and then all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with them.
So it's big deep breath here now, is it?
Well, I'll quickly go over Labyrinthian Dreams because I checked earlier and it's actually made its funding on Kickstarter, so I don't need to talk about it too much. It's an RPG Maker game, which they did a Kickstarter to improve the art and then do it as a commercial release.
All right, so they made it using RPG Maker.
They did.
Right.
It's very impressive for being made in there, as long as you're fine with 2D RPGs. It's about a woman who appears to be on her deathbed over looking back on her life, seeing where her mistakes are. Like Dear Esther, I would say, but instead of exploration, breaking up each kind of exposition part, it's puzzles, and they're actually well done puzzles. So I found it really good, and the version that hasn't been kickstarted is available for free to play from start to end. It'll take you about an hour, like Dear Esther as well.
See,
so,
I mean,
enjoyable.
I suppose for free, an hour's worth is all right, but if I was paying for an hour's worth,
yeah, actually, that's a controversial issue at the moment because of a game called Gone Home, which is in a similar vein to Dear Esther again, in that it's an exploratory, story-driven. Technically, nothing happens.
Yeah,
you get out what you put into it, but they're charging so much for it. I'm interested in it, but I'm not paying what they're asking. I'll wait for a sale like I did with Dear Esther.
One could argue
being too greedy for a 2-hour game.
You could argue that the Walking Dead games, they're about an hour a pop.
They're an hour a pop, so it was £20 for 5 hours of gameplay, which is fine.
I suppose, but
or you could get them on offer again.
There's probably a little bit more time and effort put into those, I would say.
Yes, I should certainly hope so.
Based on the story and the graphics and the mechanics and yada yada yada.
So another one I tried was called Spellforge. That was a very basic alpha, so there wasn't much there in my look at video for that. But the idea was you could make your own spells from the ground up that could do different things based on elements. Well, would they be burst spells? Would they be nova ones? Would they be charged ones, etc.? How big would the explosion be? And depending on how uber you made the spell, you wouldn't get it again for a long period of time, and then you kind of get thrown into an arena against respawning zombies. So it's like a playground for the spells you make yourself.
Right.
And the alpha build, there's only 2 of the 4 elements available, but you mix up some fun stuff. Like make railgun shots of flame and things like that.
It's the sort of thing that could be, quite interesting in an RPG of sorts.
Yes, I think, if they expanded on it a little bit, it would be very nice to be able to do that rather than just say, here, have fire 1, bolt 1.
I hate to manage to weave this into virtually every podcast since November 2011, but Skyrim could have really done with something like that. And I was kind of on the back of Morrowind and so on, anticipating that's where the magic would go.
Google.com Skyrim Materia mod, press enter. I don't know if it exists, but it probably does. So another one I'm played was called Waking Amy. Again, that was a very alpha state demo. It's a game where you play as a little girl who's in a car crash, and then you play through her subconscious mind trying to wake up from a coma. And apparently there's the doctor trying to care for her may or may not have some ulterior motives. I almost said motors. Where would you hide an ulterior motor?
In an ulterior garage.
Ah, clever. I wouldn't think to look there. So again, I did a video on that, and I don't have much to say about it. I enjoyed my time with it. It'll be interesting. I don't know if they've got funding yet. I think their Kickstarter ends the end of the month. Another Kickstarter I wanted to mention, and I did specifically want to mention this one because I couldn't do a video due to weird Fraps issues recording it.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I know what this is.
It's called World War II, the trading card game, so it's WW2TCG. Fraps usually doesn't have a problem even if you're playing windowed. I did with Labyrinthian Dreams as well, but the way I found to get around that was force it to be full screen, and Fraps found the window. Tried the same with this one, and it didn't work. And I was kind of going back and forwards with the devs, and they couldn't make it full screen because it's built primarily for iOS and
Yeah.
Android devices, not for PC, although they are planning a browser version.
Because they were trying to suggest you use a different recording software for it, but, you know.
Yeah, I had a few, but some of them are pay for, and well, the better ones are pay for, and I already pay for Fraps, so I don't really want to go that route.
Splurge out everywhere.
But I did promise I would mention my time with the game. It's a very interesting mix of, say, things from the Yu-Gi-Oh!, from Magic, from Pokemon, any sort of strategic card game you can think of. There's 3 frontline spaces in your side and 3 backline, and you have military units. Sometimes, like, say, if it's artillery, it can stay on the back row, but if it's mobile foot troops, they deploy in the back row, but then they take a turn going to the front line, and then only then they can fire.
Okay.
And then instead of like magic spells, you've got military maneuvers like Scorched Earth, for instance, and you've got air units that you can equip with missiles or improve the guns of your troops.
Drive me closer! I want to hit them with my sword!
Yes, so their Kickstarter is actually still going, and if you're listening to this on my YouTube upload, in the description I will hopefully remember to put a link to their Kickstarter, which ends on the 4th of September. They are very near their goal, so they just need a little bit more of a push. I think there's about $4,000 to go. And there's a bunch of stretch goals, I believe. And also the cards in it have like a rank up system, which was interesting. Rather than, say, evolving your Pokemon cards, it's just you get field promotions.
So
which I thought was quite interesting.
They get better stats for.
But yeah, it's similar Magic in the sense of it's like damage done and HP it can take.
Right, okay.
Strength, toughness, HP, toughness, etc. Whatever you want to call it, that's how it works. Yeah,
Sounds
so I enjoyed the little build they sent me. It's primarily for smartphones, as I said, or tablets, etc. But there's going to be a browser version for PC, so everybody can kind of nose at it.
Have a mooch at that when that comes out.
Oh, assuming it gets funding.
Well, be positive. Be positive.
I'm never positive. I'm
no,
cautiously pessimistic. So I think everything else on my list is things we both played that you... No, one more. Oh no. I lamented bringing this up. I got into the final beta test of Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn, and
wait. Roll back a little bit. You're saying you lamented bringing this up. Now, if we rewind quite some time, you tried a fair amount of the original Final Fantasy XIV, right?
I didn't play it for as long as you seem to think I did because I was appalled by how bad it was.
Long enough to try to give...
Long enough to know it's bad.
So they then re-released it, and then...
They then sacked the people who made the first one and then went back to the drawing board with a new team.
Yeah. But they tried to do that. They tried to evolve it on the fly while it was still live, essentially. And then they've now... That
didn't work, and they kind of closed it down and are now actually bringing out Realm Reborn as a full release on PS3. It's going to be on PS4 as well and on PC. It still looks pretty, except they've scaled it back now, so you don't need a ridiculously overpriced monster PC to be able to play it, because obviously it works on PS3, so that makes sense. They've also combined what I would consider the best elements of Final Fantasy XI with the best elements of ripping off Guild Wars 2, and have made a game I found annoyingly good and really enjoyed playing. And I say this with a sad-sounding voice because I don't want to be addicted to an MMO, but I was addicted to the weekend I got to play it, and I will be playing it at launch.
Oh dear.
However, asterisk, I'm playing it at launch because all the fools, including myself, who bought the shitty original version of Final Fantasy XIV, get to play for the first 2 weeks of launch free. So
you don't need to... I'm assuming...
I don't need to buy the boxed game, no.
You don't... Would somebody still need to buy the boxed game at launch, or can you just download it and then pay subscription? Like, for example,
like someone who hasn't played FF14 at all?
Yeah. Because
there's a digital version you can get from Square Enix directly. You don't need to buy a box. You can buy it digitally. No, not for free. You have to buy it.
See, that was what I was trying to figure out, because a lot of other games went down that route where you could get a digital copy of the game for free, but still pay for the subscription, etc.
Not any. I've bought digitally. I've always had to buy as if I was buying a box. Aeon, for example.
I can think of quite a few where I've done that.
Name them.
Warcraft, Dark Age of Camelot.
Warcraft is totally different.
Why is it totally different?
Well, because it's World of Warcraft, and Camelot is different as well because it's been around longer than we have.
Yeah. Well, World of Warcraft went with you could do both. You could still go buy the boxes and so on. but you could also download the content. Like, you could download, essentially, they had this fantastic idea where you essentially streamed the game.
Yes, I know. I've tried the trial and it streamed areas as I was playing it.
And you could, download the full thing to play a demo where you got, say, like a 14-day trial, but then you had all the software there. You just then paid for the subscription. You don't pay for a box of it. And I like that. If I'm paying a subscription for something, I don't want to fucking pay for the disc. They're going to get
neither do I. That's why it's nice that because I played for the crappy version of the game, I get to have the new version for free, essentially. And if I want to pay for a subscription afterwards, I can.
So your initial foolishness has kind of come back round to balance itself out?
No, it's come back round to more foolishness because I don't want to get addicted to an MMO again. But it has so many nods to Final Fantasy XI that I played for years and years. And in fact, it's borrowed plenty of the assets from it and just kind of upscaled them so they look better.
That's what That's
what the Final Fantasy 14 that came out years ago should have done.
That's what I wanted, and that's what I expected. And I was really hyped for 14. Like, I listened to a lot of podcasts and a lot of the development stuff and all these things, and I didn't actually get to play it.
Because the PC couldn't manage it.
At the time. Some combination of bits and pieces, I was actually able to get that computer to run it. But then it was a case of, it's actually terrible. I won't bother then. And I didn't even give it a shot.
Yep.
So... The thing is that like MMOs are such a time whore. I mean, they just...
Yes, they are. They're horrible, horrible things.
And think of all the games that you wouldn't be able to play if you were playing that.
I know, but I'm still going to. I'll do a Let's Look At video of it, also potentially more content depending on how long I do play it for. It might get boring by myself eventually, I don't know.
I mean, I could potentially pick it up, but if it was anywhere in the realm of Fantasy 11 where you needed to spend hours putting together a party and then you needed a minimum amount of time in the party.
I have done all of the games solo up to level 20. This level 20 story quest was for a party. You can form your own party and go in, searching like the good old days, or you can join an auto party where you are simply synced up with a tank, a healer, and 2 damage dealers. So I did the auto party. I got stuck with a healer and 2 random damage dealers, and we went through the story mission. It was fine. I was tanking because I was playing as a gladiator, which is like the prelude to a paladin. And did all right. I enjoyed it. I still prefer all the solo or say duoing.
That kind of sucked a lot of the time out of 11 for me. That's kind of what screwed me over in the long run.
I played 11 for many, many years, but a lot of it was sitting around waiting for a party, and thankfully that is not the case here.
Yeah,
and there's actual quests now rather than just the guild leaves, although the guild leaves still aren't in it. There is actually proper questing now, which is what it was bloody missing in the first place too. In a far more refined system, you can now save equipment sets because you change class by changing your main weapon. So now
I remember.
You can save equipment sets, so you can just go, right, I want to be a conjurer now. Press your conjurer set. Okay, I'm a conjurer now.
So from what I'm hearing, they haven't changed many of the actual game mechanics per se. They've just bolstered the content.
They've refined everything kind of in a good way, ripped off a successful semi-MMO in the form of Guild Wars.
Fair enough.
The combat feels a lot better for a start. It was so slow and tedious in Final Fantasy 14.
From hearing when you were playing it, because I could hear the background noise, it sounded a lot faster paced. It's quite a difficult conversation to have where, I mean, I've seen old footage and read an awful lot about the old game, and I've heard the actual game that it is now or going to be now. I would
have done a video on it, but there was an NDA for it.
Yeah, I imagine there probably would be.
I couldn't. It's a lot faster paced, even for mage class, because out of battle your TP for melee classes and MP for mage classes regenerates.
Excellent.
Yes, so you're never sitting on your arse unless you want to be.
You're not sitting down with a dark staff waiting for your MP to regen while somebody pulls another mob.
No. I mean, unless you're chaining enemies together, because if your class does in combat, it regens, but very, very, very slowly.
Like in Fantasy 11?
Yeah.
No, wait, it didn't.
Well, depending on your gear. If you had refresh gear on, yes, it would. Let's not get dragged into that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure I'll be talking about it
already sucking up way too much time.
Yeah, the pre-access for people who pre-order, like not me, people who pre-order the new version of the game, they get early access starting this Sunday, I believe. The game is out properly on Tuesday, and that's when I assume people who played the first version also get access. Although, very nicely, that final beta test, everything got kept. So my character I spent quite a lot of time in over that weekend will still be there for me.
The problem I have is that, like, especially for something like that, I would like to try before I buy, as it were. and there isn't really, as far as I can see, going to be,
no, there's not going to be. It's very archaic in the sense it still follows a subscription model. Although saying that, the Elder Scrolls Online is going to be subscription model.
I don't have a problem with subscription models. I really don't. As long as they are not exorbitant. As long as, I don't know what they're planning for this.
It's about £8.50 a month.
About £8 odd is about right.
I was expecting a tenner, actually, because that's what Old Republic was, which, by the way, we played this time last year, so if we did go to Realm Reborn, we'd just be going to a different MMO at the same time of the year again.
Was it this time last year? You sure it was?
Oh, no, it was the year before that.
Yeah, it felt a lot longer ago than that.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, last year was when I went free to play.
So, I don't have a problem with that, assuming that they, managed to maintain a decent amount of content and stuff. I mean, think of how long we've been paying subscriptions for Final Fantasy XI, and I did the same thing for even longer for World of Warcraft on and off.
People have already found that they go digging to see what's hidden in the files. There's going to be a ninja class soon, and apparently in the pipeline there's going to be a Dark Knight added.
So that'll keep you happy with both those classes?
Yes, because right now the only uber melee guy uses an axe, and I hate axes, or a lance, and I hate dragoons, so I'm not going that either.
Does a dragoon get a little dragon thing?
No.
No.
It's a dragoon in the sense of like Kain from Final Fantasy IV.
Ah, right, okay. That's more sensible. Should we move on from that?
You really, really should, because talking about it is making me want to play it.
I might consider it. I would like to.
Well, why don't you wait until I do a video on it when it comes out on the 27th? I'll do a video while you're on holiday.
No, when it comes to MMOs, I have to actually try it. It's hard to explain. I have to.
Well, they might do a free trial not long after.
Viewing it and playing it are two completely separate things. I watched videos for other things, where, in particular, I remember Warhammer Age of Reckoning. The videos didn't seem to do it very much justice, and when I played it, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just
no one else did.
That was the problem. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed that game immensely, but nobody else did. So the sheer volume
I did like it as well.
Just dipped so sharply that it became almost impossible to get any real enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was like me and Aeon.
Perhaps,
anyway,
maybe when you get it and I'll dick it around on your computer or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not putting your dick on my computer, but you can try.
Not again.
Yeah, but now you talk about all the games we have both been playing.
Okay, I'll cover off something really quickly because we didn't play an awful lot of it, and I think you've forgotten that we played it and probably forgotten that we have it. Terraria.
Fuck, yes I did.
You
know why I did? Because we played it for an hour and I was sick of it by then.
We played a little bit of it. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I imagine that, given enough time with it, it could be a lot more fun than we got out of it in a small amount of time. But if I'm going to play something like that, Minecraft kind of ticks more boxes than Terraria does.
Nah,
I like some of the things that Terraria has that Minecraft could probably do with. And I know it's such an obvious connection to make between the two games, but anyway, I don't know, some of the weapons and stuff that you can get. We didn't see any of the fancy effects and things in the. Oh,
right, you mean stuff we didn't get to?
Yeah, we didn't do anything like that, okay. Just I don't know.
I was incredibly bored because the reason I like Minecraft is you can build whatever you want.
It's a bit more immersive.
Limiting.
It's a bit more immersive.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I found it incredibly boring, and I don't even have it installed on the PC anymore.
Okay.
Thank God it only cost £1.
Space Hulk?
Yes.
I've only actually done 2 missions on Space Hulk. So much other stuff has been on the go since it came out.
I've done 4 plus the 3 tutorial missions. So. I have actually done 5, but I think either something glitched or I didn't understand the objective and I failed my first attempt at the mission I'm on.
So for those not in the know, it is basically a true rendition of the board game made by...
Yep, dice rolls and all, even though you don't see the dice rolls.
Hidden dice rolls. It's just guys in big stompy armour going through essentially a derelict spaceship with nasty alien things trying to claw their faces off.
Gene stealers, or as Philsman thought I said Gene as in Levi. I'm that potato guy said on my look at video for it. I didn't understand a word you said. Space Marine, Gene Stealer, what?
Terminator armor,
they're not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's out. Is it out at the moment as well on iOS and stuff? I'm sure it's
cross-platform play. You can play someone on the iOS or Android.
It's kind of fun. I'm kind of enjoying what I've played. I'm
finding it incredibly difficult, but I'm enjoying it.
It's there.
I haven't tried the VS yet, and also the co-op mode they promise isn't in yet.
No,
so it better get added, and it better be fucking free.
We better do.
Because they promised that in the pre-order blurb.
That was one of the reasons for picking it up, more or less. But,
especially
it's this
because
time.
I think it is way too expensive.
It was about £20, wasn't it?
It was £20, although we got a slight discount because we bought the 2-pack.
Yeah. Oh, well, we look forward to potentially seeing some co-op / versus videos of that maybe coming up at some point when we eventually get around to it.
Eventually, once we get around to it, yeah. I would caution anyone who, even if you're into like 40k or Space Hulk, I would wait until it's on sale.
Yeah. Yeah. So up next, another maybe fairly quick one to get through is Smite. This is our first real foray into the MOBA type game.
Multiplayer online battle arena for those who don't know.
We did try Dota 2.
Hated it.
Didn't
hated everything about it.
Like it. I mean, I played the original Dota mod, and it was all right. I wasn't as hardcore into it as a lot of people were. Same with we know people CR that are quite into League of Legends. Smite takes a slightly different tangent where it plays from sort of third person point of view, and rather than you target locking and all that sort of stuff, it is literally a case of you're playing it almost like a shooter, I suppose. Maybe not.
Oh yeah, there's no auto aim. You have to aim your abilities yourself, and just timing is important.
Timing
as well as strategy.
is just timing and teamwork are just if you're meticulous with that, you will go far. It's a lot of fun. It is technically free. You pay for the packs, all the extra gods and skins and all sorts of bells and whistles. It's not really pay to win, I wouldn't say.
No, all the gods are okay, and there's a rotation of which ones are free.
Yeah, they're all fairly balanced. It still sort of suffers from the
bad player MOBA stereotype.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really seen an awful lot of that. I've played it
a little bit of it.
You have.
Yeah, you've played a bit more of the game type, which that's prevalent in, whereas I've stuck to arena and whatnot, where people don't really care.
Oh, because it's so fast-paced and it's not really standard game type.
Or all random, all middle, where you can't really decide who you go, so whether your team's balanced or not is down to Lady Luck.
Yeah. It does seem that more often than not there is a fair balance. Every once in a while I've had a game where everybody has been a bruiser against a team that's been primarily casters, which can be a bit challenging. But I'm enjoying it. I actually do really like it. I
do like it as well. It's just we've been getting distracted by other things again, so we haven't gone back to it as much as we may. But I will do more videos on it probably once we get back to it.
This harks back to the whole Final Fantasy XIV thing. There'll be even less time for these things.
Oh, shut up.
So, Smite, it's good. It's fun.
One more thing about Smite. My contact from Hi-Res that actually contacted me about the game in the first place. When I did my look at video, I mentioned all the, the salty players and whatnot. He was talking to me about how you report people in it. And I've actually noticed people try to manipulate the reporting system in that they try and get the enemy team to report someone they didn't like on their own.
Yes, they do.
That's how they're getting around how the report system in Smite works, which I don't like.
People try, virtually after every game I play.
Yeah, they're not saying fuck you, you cheated. They're saying this guy on our team was shit, report him for cheating.
Yeah.
Because they know that's the way they'll get screwed, and they're being the dicks. It's annoying manipulation of a system that's in there to try and help you.
I know, but at least they're trying.
They're trying. It's just the prick players are misusing it.
The amount of stuff that they've put into trying to gear people up with as much knowledge, as much experience of the game before being thrown to the wolves. Is I take my hat off to them.
Comprehensive tutorials as well.
They give you the most basic. This is how this type of game works, so that you know what you're supposed to be doing, and then they let you you can test with people, you can test with bots, you can do all sorts of stuff prior to going in with all the haters, so that you've got a good chance of understanding. Even if it's only one god, you learn all their skills, what they do, what works, what doesn't work, what you're likely to go up against. You can find all these things out and play all these things before you have to go up against other people. And I think that's a really good thing. They've taken on board the fact that there's such an issue with their player base, or the player base of those games in general.
The reason they might be aware of that is because the dev I was talking with pointed out that the devs often play in
just random matches,
accounts, as in they aren't marked that this is a person who helped make this game. So they are privy to first-hand knowledge of how their players act, and so you point that out to me as well.
I think it should probably be mentioned, and I think you mentioned it in your Let's Look At video, that Hi-Res actually contacted you and provided you with, some of the god packs for some of us to play. So we should probably thank them.
Yes, and also some codes to do a giveaway for one of the newest gods added at the time.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I possibly could have parted with money even had I not been given the full god pack.
But would you have tried it though? Maybe. The whole idea here is I think they're being outshone by the big promotion that League of Legends and Dota is getting. So they're like, hey, we've got a slightly different take on a MOBA here. It's apparently quite a lot of people are enjoying this. So why don't you get some YouTubers to make videos of it?
Yeah. I do like it. I do genuinely. I would encourage people to, at the very least, go and try it because it is free. You can test out. I think it's something like 10 gods, and then there is a rotation on the ones that.
How often is the rotation? Is it weekly?
I think it's daily. I think the random extra ones
every 24 hours.
I think so because.
Also in the mode against bots, you have access to every god, so you can try before you purchase.
Oh yeah, so you can see whether or not this. If you didn't like anything in the first set, you can try out all the other ones. And
I think you can actually get to every god just using the in-game currency you get for winning matches. It's just if you want alternative skins and voice packs, you spend real money.
Yeah,
like they're the only things you can't buy with the in-game currency.
Yeah. It's
obviously time consuming to get all the gods, but
there is enough variety, not just in the look of the gods, but the skills and the way that they work. There's enough variety in them that you've always got something that might fit someone's particular niche.
And also, there's 2 more gods getting added to celebrate the release of the game in China. 2 more Chinese gods are being added. So they're definitely still got plenty of gods to visit.
Oh yeah, there's many of
the arena, along with Norse and Viking. And,
oh Jesus! No, not Jesus.
It would be so funny if they had the balls to do that, but they won't. Sadly.
Beard and sandals. Oh yeah.
Oh, it would be really good.
Or a skin
would
pack.
Be furious. Doesn't it just show that who are the religious intolerant people? It's not the ones that have gods represented in the game. Clearly, although saying that, didn't Doomsday Day say that they changed one god based on a bit of backlash?
I read something about something, but the one he was actually talking about was Hun Bats, and it was just that they didn't like the god. The people didn't like the god, so they sort of reclassed him, I suppose.
Right.
When I read something on a Wikipedia page about some people getting up in arms about one of them. I can't remember which.
I'm surprised it hasn't had more of that, actually, considering it is a game with lots of gods in it from various religions.
They did just kind of turn around and say, go screw yourself, basically, in the nicest possible way. No, they used their own logic against them. I'm trying to find where it is specifically because. Oh
yes, I remember you quoting this to me.
It was in June last year. Hindu leaders became upset at the inclusion of several Hindu gods in Smite. The fact that they're player controlled. It was the player control element that they didn't like. That the deities in question, blah 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 blah. Opposition to how Kali in particular was dressed. They turned around, issued a statement which basically said it includes deities inspired from a diverse and ever-expanding set of pantheons, including Greek, Chinese, blah, 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 blah. Hinduism, being one of the world's oldest, largest, and most diverse traditions, also provides inspiration towards deities in our game. In fact, Hinduism's concept of a single truth with multiple physical manifestations, one could validly interpret all the gods within Smite to be Hindu, and all gods outside of Smite as well. Ponder that for a minute. Anyway, going forward, Smite will include even more deities, not fewer. So, yeah, kind of using their own...
Yeah, that's saying fuck you in a very polite manner.
Yeah, it's a very nice way of doing it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, props to them for that.
So we'll be doing more of that.
Yeah, we will.
Next.
I will definitely be playing more.
Well, you have been. While I've been stuck uploading videos, you've been just sodding off and playing that with your brother and Failsman.
Yeah, on top of that, I have work to go to as well and stuff. Well, people have been playing Final Fantasy and things. So it's all fair and
I played Final Fantasy over the weekend, but never mind.
Payday 2.
Mm-hmm.
Payday 2. CR gifted us this.
Yes, I was going to say we should probably thank CR for buying a 4-pack, I think, and giving us one
I
each.
actually told him that it was his birthday the other day, so I need to buy him something from his wish list on Steam as a thank you. Because I probably wouldn't have bought Payday 2.
This just shows the difference between an Englishman and a Scotsman, because I'm getting him nothing.
Based on Payday 1, which I felt was a bit, it felt more like a mod. It didn't feel like...
I didn't really like
full game and so on. I wasn't really considering getting Payday 2, and that would have been very silly because they took all of the things that were great about Payday 1. If you haven't played or understood anything about Payday, by the way, essentially it is a group of people that are bank robbers. Let's call them.
I did an overview video of it.
Okay, that's an easy way of doing it.
That's the convenient part of now doing a series where you just look at videos and just show them off to people to help them decide whether they buy it or not.
Go to YouTube and put in Flick FFXI and then put in Payday, and hopefully it should spring up. Or just
probably won't, but you can give it a go.
Anyway, so yeah, before there was you were limited on like the weapons, the skills, the levels themselves were pretty limited, and it felt just like that they were getting at something, but they hadn't quite cracked it. And this time around, it feels like it's just something that you can just keep playing, even the same missions.
I think it's going to get tiring fairly quickly if they don't add enough.
I think more maps have got to be coming. I reckon
they better be, because I don't think it's shipped with enough.
I reckon that they have probably made enough money to guarantee that more maps are definitely.
Probably.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I am still enjoying it. I just think it's not going to keep my attention for very long because they haven't put enough in it. There's not enough maps. I don't mind the basic mission types or the randomness that can happen on the mission types. I just think they've been a bit lazy with how many overall maps there are.
True, there are some.
The one bank map instead of like multiple potential banks, a small bank, medium, and large. Why not something like that? I mean, that kind of feels a bit lazy to me.
What I think Payday 2 could really do with is
monkeys.
Well, other than monkeys, is user-created maps. I want community maps.
Yes, that would work really well.
People making their own bank jobs, heists and stuff. It's not just to clarify, it isn't just going into a bank, breaking into a vault, stealing money and running out.
No.
There are
There's
ones
drug
where
deals and weapon deals.
You have to cook up your own drugs because all the drug dealers have been killed, or there are ones where you're providing like support. You're essentially you're bodyguards, I suppose, to a certain extent. I mean, not of a person, but the rats in particular. There are escape missions where you're basically trying to get from A to B to avoid getting caught by the cops. What else have you got? You've got missions where you're stealing paintings.
Yep.
There's lots of good stuff in there.
Breaking into FBI headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
Failing at stealth because the stealth is slightly dodgy in the game at times.
There's proper sort of, I would say skill tree, but it's not really a tree per se because you buy everything in it. It's not like you're locked into one tree or another. You can buy perks. That's
better than the way it was in the first one, where it was a class-based system. You had to be playing as a class to level up the abilities with that. You had absolutely no choice. It's just you got an ability per level
as well. It took forever to get your way through. The only thing that I don't necessarily like about it, and it's something that's random, is getting weapon mods. To improve the weapons that you have. As you rank up, or as you level up, you get access to more weapons that you can just buy, and they go into your inventory, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But you can get improvements like holographic sights, scopes, magazine extensions, silencers, flashlight.
I'm still waiting for a flashlight for both my guns.
All sorts of bells and whistles, but those come from like a random reward that you get at the end of completing a mission. So you could get like a cash reward, you could get a mask. Patterns and colors for changing your mask, and weapon mods. I think those are the main ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
The weapon mods, I seem to be sorely lacking in getting that reward at the moment, and it means that while I do like some of the guns I'm using, they're not necessarily scaling very well with the difficulty that we're.
And while it's fun that you get a random reward when you finish a mission, it's annoying that you can't just buy the things you want to upgrade the gun you want,
or pick which group of rewards you want. I want a mask this time, or I want, even if the actual reward itself is random, as long as you can pick from a pool, like say you are wanting money. I want money, get a random amount of money. I want a mask, get a random mask, or a random pattern or something. That would be good. Anyway, so Smite, Payday 2, good fun. I would say it's worth the.
Would you give it 7 thumbs up or more?
I would say it's better than the first hour of Skyrim.
Ooh, that's a hefty allegation to make.
I'm sorry. I would put Smite up there with better than the first hour of Skyrim. I reckon.
Well, you played it for longer than that. So I guess so.
To be fair, remember, I'm not saying that like this is a toss up between playing the first hour of Skyrim or playing this game. It's not saying that it beats the actual first hour of Skyrim.
Oh, I thought it was a comparison of quality. I didn't realize it was like which would you rather do. I thought it was like
no. It's always been which would I rather do. That's been the case.
I've misunderstood this whole rating system.
Easily.
This is why we just need numbers.
This is why we just need the Kotaku approach.
Should you buy no.
Not? Or in some cases, we don't know.
Talk about it because that was fantastic. The best review ever.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Okay, well, I'll say it. Kotaku did a review, which I remind you, a review is a way of telling a reader whether or not they should or should not play a particular game. Their review of Splinter Cell Blacklist was a shrug of the shoulders. They reached no conclusion. They reached no yes or no, which is simple in its own right and what they usually go with. They had a...
we don't know. And
I don't know. Who are we? Journalists?
I like at some point somebody has obviously clocked onto the fact that like we would like to know what you actually tested within a game. So Kotaku usually...
they always put how much they've actually done of it,
how much time they played and so on and so forth. And the vast majority of the time was put into the single player. Now, especially given how much emphasis they've put onto, we're going back to the old ways of multiplayer.
Pandora Tomorrow,
Spies versus Mercs. It's going to be a big part of this game. And they barely played, I think they said something like 4 hours, maybe, of the multiplayer. And about 11.
To be fair, we've only played like an hour of co-op. We haven't played any.
That's enough. That has been enough for me. Obviously, we've now jumped into the fact that we have been playing Blacklist.
We have, yes.
That the small amount of time. Small amount of time playing Blacklist. I am thoroughly impressed. I reckon.
Yes, I'm enjoying it a lot as well.
Assuming that they get the versus mode as right as they did back in Pandora Tomorrow, then I will be very happy, and I will be gutted that we bought it for the Xbox because your subscription will run out and we won't get to play it for very long.
Do you really think even if it's the same as Pandora Tomorrow, we'll still be playing it by the end of September? I find that hard
to believe. How fucking long did we play Pandora Tomorrow for?
Well, I guess. We can always wait and get it backup plan. Christmas Steam sale, get the PC version for pennies.
Genius. Great success.
It's apparently, in fact, I know it is better looking because I've compared footage. The PC version looks better. Even though the console version comes with an HD optional install pack.
More often than not, like, this is getting on the high horse again, PC versions tend to do.
Oh, don't go all Master Race on me with the bullshit like that.
Not Master Race, it's just in terms of being pretty. And like, you do have to put a lot of money into doing that, and this PC is starting to wane a little bit. I think next year I might have to find myself upgrading to something a bit flashier. But... that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
You totally lost your train of thought there, didn't you?
I did. It's because I'm being distracted.
Too much stuff. I'll put it back on track by saying earlier today I finished the storyline of Blacklist and I did thoroughly enjoy it.
Good.
And I don't mean this in a negative way. I would compare what they've done in Conviction as well to a certain extent, and especially in this one, is what Hitman Absolution did, where stealth is not entirely up to you. You can be stealthy, but the game does not harshly punish you if you want to go guns blazing. And that's what people sort of said was wrong with Hitman Absolution, and I disagree with. I'm fine with the game letting you be a moron who charges in using explosives, as long as it lets me be utterly silent.
Yeah, as long as it... Well, that's...
Choice is not a bad thing. I don't understand its angle.
I think people are misinterpreting it. Like you're saying, choice is a good thing. I think people are looking at it going, this game should be, I'm a ninja, assassin, spy, people will never see me, I will kill everybody on the map or nobody on the map, but nobody will know I was ever there.
Exactly, yeah.
But the alternative is you have somebody that comes along and go, I don't mind playing as this, badass, spy type guy, but... what if I want to play James Bond style, where, maybe he is a little bit stealthy getting into the installation at the start, but then before you know it, planes are blowing up and
Judi Dench gets angry.
People get launched into shark tanks and all sorts of jazz.
I am totally fine with it giving people who aren't good at stealth an option.
I mean, it perfectly sets itself up for you being able to sneak your way into a place, but then blow the shit up going out, and it's explosions. And
that is an option. If you want to go like John McClane, fine. I don't care if you do. My chosen method is to try and be 100% stealthy, but also fatal stealthy.
Yeah,
which they call the Panther style in this game. Then there's the Ghost, which is never gets seen. If you do have to take someone out, always non-lethal, and you can actually get through the game without killing anyone as Sam. And then there's the third option, which is Tiger, I think. I've never actually done it, so I can't remember the code name for it, but that's like you're fully alerted, but you're using all your gadgets, all your smarts to just murder everybody in the open. It takes a bit. You die really easy if you haven't gone fully like armor upgraded.
I like the choices, and I like the fact that, like, you know, from equipment upgrades, you can gear yourself towards your particular playing style as well. If you want to go in absolutely guns blazing, blow the shit up, you can take all the nasty gear. You can put the extra Kevlar on yourself. Or if you want to go down the stealth route, you can gear it up so that you might not take a bullet particularly well, but damn, you'll never get spotted in the dark.
Oh, perfect example. I was playing through a stage. I won't go into any detail for spoilers, obviously. I got through to almost kind of the last guy in the room, made a mistake, got killed. And the checkpoint system isn't actually that great in that you'll probably have to replay quite a bit or clear the room again. So I tried it again and managed to screw up a second time. My third attempt, I was annoyed with my stealth report, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going loud. And I did it loud. I mean, I wasn't happy with myself afterwards, but I had that option rather than, spending 10 minutes in a room very silently picking off each person. I thought, right, I'll switch out my gadgets, try and do the room loud, and then go back and switch my equipment again. And I did.
It reminds me of going back and playing like the original Splinter Cell, in that there were a couple of times where you could be really frustrated with a particular set of circumstances that maybe got you spotted and screwed the mission over, and you went back and tried to figure out, kind of Hitman style, the perfect...
Yeah, redoing it to be perfect.
Redoing it to go down the perfect, I am the ghost. I am the silent assassin. But...
sometimes
what if you
just want to get through the game to see what happens?
Sometimes you just want to watch shit go on fire. Sometimes you just want to...
Or you just lose your rag getting caught too much.
Yeah. Sometimes
As I did in that one instance.
Sometimes you want to do what I do at the end of every Grand Theft Auto session.
Yes.
It's just use up all of your ammo and blow the crap up and watch the cops come in and blow their crap up and blow some more crap up.
Just blow all the crap up.
And eventually you get killed, and that's when you turn the console off, because that's when you are done. Sometimes you just want to do that.
So I should point out we're doing a video series of the co-op content of Blacklist. We're also going to be doing Spy vs. Merc videos once we get into it.
We fingers crossed that's actually good, because we've not tried that yet, because that could turn out to be horrible.
Well, what's interesting is the versus side of it has two... I don't want to use the word modes, because I think within each there's different subsets, but let's say there's two game types of versus. Spies versus Mercs. There's one which emulates Pandora Tomorrow, so it's only 2 versus 2. You don't have half the new gadgets that are in Blacklist. You're very limited because it's recreating what Pandora Tomorrow had. And then you've got Spies vs. Mercs Blacklist, which is 4-on-4. It's really hectic. There's different classes of spy, different classes of mercs. There's special abilities, new gadgets. It's all like wild. And that offers you 2 different styles of play. In fact, I think I've read you can also set it up so it works like, I can't remember the name of the mode in Pandora Tomorrow, but some stages it didn't have all the hacking terminals available from the get-go. You had to like do A, then do B, then C opened. You can set it so it does that as well.
Yeah, I think it was one where you had A.
I remember
and
a factory
B,
stage like
and
that.
And you in unlocking one of A or B opened up C.
Yeah, maybe that way.
I don't think you had to do both. I don't think you had to do them in order.
Parts of the stage were locked off until you hacked previous ones.
No, even that. I mean, even thinking about that, like I have a feeling that we will prefer the old school style.
Probably.
Like I don't think that we will necessarily dislike the
style.
Other
might
one.
be funnier.
But see, this is again just continuing on with the theme. The old school style will probably be a bit more of the
stealth.
You're playing stealth. It's going to be quite a tense kind of tactical.
Yeah,
whereas the other one
batshit crazy
will be the action style game, and it's almost like they're just saying, right, we've put together one game, but you can play this as 2 separate games. You can have the people that maybe don't have the patience, or aren't really all that interested in being sneaky, spy, stealthy, and just want to blow shit up in the single player, in the co-op, or in the multiplayer. But then you've got the other side of people that can play the game and play the multiplayer like Ninja Stealth Assassin. And I like that.
There seems to be a lot of content included on the disc. I wouldn't be averse to them doing DLC because it seems like they gave you enough to justify the retail cost.
I can't remember what the first, or was it the only? No, I think it might have just been the first DLC for Conviction. Then we picked that up.
We did pick it up, yeah. We only played it through the once.
Yeah, I think we were.
It was just
we
more
were one of the
stages.
first sets of people to completely 100% that as well.
Yep.
Anyway,
there's only one mode that's very like that one, sadly, in Blacklist, which we tried last night, where just like it's waves in a horde-ish style fashion. Waves of guys come onto a level, and it's like your playground. You can do whatever you want to dispatch them as long as you survive.
Yeah,
and that's really fun. I like that.
It is exactly the same as the Manhunt one from the previous one, except for
other than there's no like if you get caught, you get like a secondary super wave.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really like the concept of that. So we'll probably be recording more of this after we're done here, also.
Yeah, quite possible.
But we will try the versus mode soonish too.
Yes.
So we should probably answer emails, and then I've got a couple of bits of news, and then we can wrap up for our first podcast in a while.
It probably sucks quite considerably that for 2 of the weeks that this is out and during your subscription running out for Xbox Live, I won't be here.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
well, you know what? We've probably got like tons of like try gold free for a weekend, 3 days, etc. or something right now. Just burn through all those. I think my backup idea of rebuying the game dirt cheap at Christmas from Steam is probably the way to go, assuming we're still really enjoying it by the time my Xbox subscription runs out.
Because, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So on to email, shall we?
Yes, email. Yeah. Okay, I was going to moan about Xbone, but no, we can do that after.
Okay, this is actually from a little over a month ago from Kwiku, who we thought died while he was away doing some sort of martial arts in the Orient.
Achievement unlocked. First email from a zombie.
Yep. So, dear Flick and the literate bastard known as Blighty, I'm sure you are wondering how I am sending you this message when the last message I stated I was going to be at a temple. Well, it turns out there's a signal out here. But that's not what's important right now. What is important is that last week there was a PS at the end of the message I sent you. And for some reason, I couldn't figure out why you didn't read. But upon rereading it, I realized what was wrong and even thought I was joking. Even though I was joking, I understand how that could have gotten you guys negative responses from your viewers and maybe caused a few of them to get butthurt and unsubscribe. So I would like to
found it funny, for the record.
Formally, and he says anally. He says formally and anally apologize. I think he maybe means formally and finally. I don't know. Formally,
we may be trying to write formally twice, and his phone split up to formal and anal.
It is quite. You have to kind of forgive him, I suppose, considering where he is. Apologize.
Yeah, he was fighting like 10 guys at the same time as fixed in this.
I think it was something to do with me saying that it was in Dead Island, and I made the comment. It was something to do with it being cold or something, and I was like black people don't like the cold.
Oh, the water.
It was something along those lines. It was as a joke, and he took it as a joke, but then took the piss out of me, which in the context of an email, I kind of misinterpreted it. And I thought, no, I'm not going to say that out loud. But I still stand by what I said. Flick is, but he spells Flick with 2 Ks, just FYI.
That's better than a C, I don't mind.
It's still my favourite, but not for the reasons you think. It's because I just realised that you have 2 different channels and you don't do shit on yours like Flick. That's
yeah.
I haven't touched my channel in a very long time because I moved to a place where my connection I can't cope with uploading anymore.
Once it is, will you be going back to doing some gaming videos as well?
Yeah, I think so, because on top of that, I'll get around the rendering side of things by live streaming stuff straight onto YouTube.
Oh yeah, via Twitch. Yeah.
So that will kill both birds with one stone. So that's it should be imminent at some point.
It hasn't been imminent for a while. I'm very surprised it hasn't happened yet.
We'll go into a little side note here. The technicality of getting fiber optic put into a place.
Yeah.
Obviously, the main exchange needs to be set up for it, which has been done.
Which it has,
but then your cabinet has to be done too. Now, not all cabinets will be done, within weeks of the exchange being done. It depends on a lot of things. They may need to dig up roads. They may need planning permission for X, Y, and Z. They may need to make sure that there are enough people that live near it that are likely to buy it. So the last time I spoke to them was not too long after moving into this place. So we're talking, it was maybe January, in fact. I think
I was going to say, it was quite a few months ago now.
And they had estimated, based on how recently the exchange had been done, that my cabinet may be within 3 or 4 months or something. But that still hasn't transpired. I haven't phoned them up again to check or anything.
Maybe you should.
More are popping up here, there, and everywhere. I do live on the outskirts of the town that the exchange went up. So it could be that we are quite, near the end of the list to be done. But, I've got my fingers crossed. And it might never happen. The websites do say that, just because the exchange has been done does not mean you will get fiber optic put in. So waiting on that, basically, before I put any more.
Yeah, and then he'll start doing videos again.
And then, you can expect guns blazing pretty much everything that I play to be just streamed and fired up just for the lulz, because a lot
Which is apparently where it is.
A lot of the best stuff that we do is kind of off camera, let's say. There's just a lot of banter. If you can anticipate what it's like when we set up a video for something, that's not like necessarily put on for the video. It is like that all the time. In some cases, even more extreme. Anyway,
slightly, yeah.
So he goes on to say, I understand how heartbroken you are, but look, there's a lot of fish in the sea, Blighty, sorry. Sincerely, with strong, hard, sturdy gay love, Kwiku. P.S. I think I thought of the perfect name for Flick. It should be Grundy Batman and Grundy Gaming Podcast, but do it in their voices. I don't know what that means.
Grundy just sounds like a troll, I guess.
Batman and Grundy Gaming Podcast.
Oh, wait, so he's saying I'm Grundy and you're Batman?
I think so. Pretty certain. I am Batman.
Since he's a member of my fan club, I will not be insulting, but I will just politely decline his offer of Grundy and Batman podcast.
Are you politely accepting his strong, hard, sturdy gay love?
I'd need to talk to PR. That was PR, by the way, not CR.
Oh dear.
PR. Public relations.
Thank you, Kwiku, for taking the time. I know it's been a long time in responding. Technically, this is the first podcast since you sent that in.
Well, yeah, it is technically. It is. We did that one no one's seen.
He sent that email just after the last one was recorded.
Shit. Well, you can let us now know. Have you killed anyone with one finger yet, or learned kung fu?
Yeah.
Show me.
Interested to show me. Okay, so the only other email we have is from Rory Wood. Can you remember if that's the good Rory or the bad Rory?
Yes, it's the good Rory.
Right, good. Hello again, it's me, the good Rory. Just to make sure that you know it's the good Rory.
Yes.
And to continue talk on where I work, yes, getting in for 6 a.m. is early, but the shop opens at 7 and no one else wants my shift. Damn fucking right nobody wants your shift. Starting at 7 o'clock. I don't get up till 7 o'clock.
There's a 7 o'clock?
So now for a question, and it's fucking hot. Oh, this is during the heat wave. Remember we had that?
Oh, I don't. I was in a kind of haze of, what? Huh?
As it's fucking hot, I can't really think of anything to ask, so I'll go with the new Borderlands 2 DLC. Do you think there'll be any more story DLC? We didn't pick up the last Borderlands DLC after Tiny Tina.
Wait.
Did that come out?
Tiny Tina was the last one, but now they've announced a new one.
We'd played Tiny Tina by this time.
Then he must mean the new one then.
Yeah, the new one. Is that out?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
All right, okay. Well,
I don't even know what it's about.
No, we don't know what it's about, and I don't know whether there'll be any more story DLC. I don't think so.
No, I'm not sure either.
Probably pushed past.
I follow their Facebook page and they haven't gone on about it. The big reveal is that Borderlands 2 is coming out on PSV. That was at Gamescom. Presumably it might have the DLC included with it if it's some kind of bundle.
I suppose that's one way to try and kickstart people buying stuff for a dying console.
Yeah. No, it's a handheld and it's not dying, it's just not come to life yet.
No,
Sony seems to be using it like the Wii uses the gamepad. So as a PS4 gamepad, it might work.
That's a good
Because apparently you can stream all PS4 games, apart from ones which need PSI, etc., to it. So,
that might be handy. Literally. Now to the 5-word gaming things. And you only got one of last time's right. So for the people who were not at the after show bit, here's the answers. So last time we had Iron Man vs. Cap Super War, which was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Egyptian robots fight second time, which was Zone of the Enders 2. Absorbing people for their minds, which was Prototype, but CR got that one in the chat.
Yeah.
So new ones. Card games on motorcycles 2010.
Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. They play card games on motorcycles.
All right, okay. So that must be it then.
I don't get the 2010 bit, though. I don't think it's set in 2010 as far as I'm aware. Let's assume that's right.
Released again now with Soul.
Say again?
Released again now with Soul.
Released again now with Soul. So it's a sequel.
I was wondering whether or not it was something to do with Final Fantasy.
Soul Reaver?
But maybe I haven't heard anything about a Soul Reaver.
No. Wait, say it one more time. I think I've got it.
Released again now with Soul.
Infamous Second. No, I thought I had it. I thought his name was Soul.
Surely it can't be anything to do with like Demon Souls or Dark Souls.
It could be Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 1 had souls in it, so
who knows? You'll have to tell us that one. Magic hair fighting on ceiling.
Magic hair fighting on ceiling.
The only thing I can think of, and I know this sounds stupid, is Dragon Ball Z for some reason. And I know it's not magic hair, but like, just for some reason.
If it's Bayonetta, that's the only game I can think of with like magic hair in it. I haven't played it, so I don't know if that involves fighting on ceilings.
I know it's got stiletto heels in it.
Why do you know that?
Just from the pictures.
I see. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass on that one for now.
I don't have a clue for the next one either. How EA makes a Skyrim.
I don't really follow what EA does because I hate them and they make me throw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
How EA does Skyrim?
How EA makes a Skyrim.
Oh, makes a Skyrim.
I don't know whether he's just trying to force words in to make it.
It'll be Dragon Age Inquisition. The new Dragon Age game. 3, I guess, but it's called Inquisition, I think. It's got dragons in it, so...
Dragons?
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with.
All right, okay. I did terrible there. I didn't know any of those.
I think I did too. That one on the ceiling still annoyed me because I feel like I should know it.
They're getting harder as each podcast goes by. So that's all I can think of now. Also running out of games that I own to do a 5-word thing about. So by the sounds of it, then, he is just doing it on games he has played.
So if we break into his house and see his game collection...
That's a cunning plan. I'll meet you outside with the crowbar.
Okay. So is that it?
So that's
email-wise?
So thank you very much, good Rory.
I only had 2 little bits of news because I've been forgetting to fill it out.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we'll skip the whole Xbone 180 again. The Kinect is no longer required, although it still ships with it, and they have no plans to release a version without a Kinect. So, they're still being dicks about it, essentially. The launch titles for both consoles are released, and they're both pretty piss-poor lists, to be honest.
That's always the case.
Yeah, the release date for the PS4 got revealed is November 29th for us.
Yep.
A week earlier and everywhere else.
Are you planning for one on launch, or are you going to wait?
No, because the launch titles aren't good enough. Yeah. I'll wait.
Thought as much.
Yeah. There's no rush.
I might have one through various means, but,
Unless the launch titles change. Oh yeah, and Microsoft were so desperate they gave away a copy of like the new FIFA game with every Xbone. A digital code, so don't think you can buy it and then sell it on to make back some of the over cost you paid for the Kinect.
Did Sony not then announce that you could buy FIFA and a PS4 and it would still be cheaper than the Xbox?
Yes.
So
£10 cheaper.
It kind of still,
Yes, that was very funny. Also, they bitch slapped Xbox again at their conference where they said, we've always stuck to our guns regarding region and whatnot, unlike other people who've changed their minds constantly, and just a big finger at Microsoft again.
No, not
reminding everybody how many times they've reversed.
Not to go down that whole thing all over again, but like I was the optimistic one over this whole thing. But the thing
I'd say foolish, but
the thing that leaves me concerned now is the fact that there's so much, so much change. They just keep saying, "We're going to do this." All right, okay, you
exactly.
really don't like that. We're not gonna...
I'd never trust Microsoft again.
So it's a case of, well, in a way, okay, you're listening, but you don't have a choice in the matter if you want to make any money. But then, does that then mean that we really do have the power now, and we can force people to make changes, or is it just like this is going to be a one-time thing? And
once you all have your Xbones, they might decide to flip the DRM switch back on again because you already have it. So fuck you.
That's not a good thing. The one thing that is semi, I'm not going to say a concern, but this is from the PS4 side of things. Talk of Battlefield 4, where they're basically saying that it's only going to run at 720p. So the hopes of actually, of us seeing full 1080. But apparently, in the dev kit that they're using, it is actually running 1080. So it might actually come in 1080 at launch.
That makes no difference to me whatsoever.
It's shiny. Makes things look shinier.
Meh, I say.
What do you mean?
Also, people who subscribe to PSN Plus are going to get the Binding of Isaac Rebirth for free on PS4.
Bad. That's not bad.
And good indie games like Rogue Legacy are coming to PS4 also. They've got all the indie games. All the good ones.
Just don't even bother mentioning any of them, because they're all there.
They're all there. I was watching the thing and I tweeted they should just list indie games they don't have, because it'd be bloody quicker.
A shorter list. I think they were making a point about it.
They were absolutely making a point, because another thing Microsoft backtracked on was how they treat indie developers. So yeah. So anyway, the two bits of news I had that we can go through fairly quickly, because I want to complete Blacklist.
Yes, so do I, and we've been at this for
There's a What If DLC coming out for Bioshock Infinite, in which DeWitt and Elizabeth are in pre-disaster Rapture.
Huh.
Totally different personalities, etc. No relation to the full game. It's just an alternative storyline of What If.
I remember seeing some concept art for this. Elizabeth looks different.
She looks rapture-y. She looks like she's out of the first Bioshock, which is good. And also apparently you can play as her in this one.
It might be interesting. I did thoroughly enjoy it.
I am interested. It's Rapture, pre-destruction era.
I've kind of forgotten that I played it. I know that sounds really weird, but
so did I.
That many things, and I played it in such like given how normally I stretch these things out quite a lot based on trying to split my time up amongst a million and one other things. I played it in a couple of really big bursts.
As did I, and I haven't played it again yet, and I keep meaning to.
Which is not like me. So it's a sign of a good game, something that really sucked me in. Careful how I phrased that.
Yeah, very. The last bit of news I had is fairly old news now, I guess, but Batman Arkham Origins is going to have 3v3v2 multiplayer, which I think is a very interesting concept for a multiplayer mode.
I suppose if you get balanced, right, then it could be alright.
Yeah, one team is the Joker and two of his henchmen, one team is Bane and two of his henchmen, and then the other team is Batman and Robin. And they obviously have far more freedom of movement and gadgets, but, they go down easier than the people armed with guns. But the Wii U version of Batman Arkham Origins will not have the multiplayer mode.
Oh, Wii U.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of missing out on new news. So I think
that's really old news.
We've seen some footage of Titanfall, which is
from Gamescom, that thing you didn't want to mention.
Yeah,
it looks really good. It's a shame that it's an EA game, and it's a shame we have to wait for the PC version because we're not getting the Xbox version. They hopefully will be out reasonably similar times. I think.
I would expect them to do that.
It has big stompy robots, but it's basically Battlefield / Call of Duty / stompy robots. So
it takes a bit of Battlefield.
Well, it's made by Respawn, so that's why they made the good Call of Duty games.
So there you go. It definitely looks like it might be interesting.
I am very interested in Titanfall because of the big stompy robots.
You and your big stumpy robots. I can't remember if it was in the last podcast or between then and now, but it's sort of leaked that they're making a Pat Labor movie, like a proper movie. Yes,
it's been fairly recently that's been leaked, yes.
Yeah. I'm excited.
You get on at me about big stumpy robots, then you go on about you liking Pat Labor.
Yeah, I like old school big stumpy robots.
Oh, of course you do, because you're a hipster dick. Also, listen. That's the sign that we wrap up.
That's the sound of that sounded like a.
It's like that Futurama episode where Bender just walks out and you can just while they're having a conversation, he keeps on shouting in the background, "I'm turning on the engine." I'm leaving.
What was that you just turned on there? Wasn't the Xbox? 'Cause
That was my Xbox. We're going. We're playing Blacklist.
Mine doesn't make that noise.
You don't have the newer Elite models that are touch.
I don't have. Oh yeah, I have an Elite, but not a. Not
No, you don't have the
not your
Elite
one that gets all the fingerprints all over it.
It's a touch sensor. You just hold in front of it.
Yeah, but it's glossy. The whole console is glossy, right?
What?
The plastic is glossy.
Let me look.
Glossy.
Hang on. It's not got plastic on it. What the hell are you talking about? It would melt if it had plastic on it.
Touch the console.
Look there.
Your fingerprints.
I'm running my fingers over it.
No, just touch it.
I am touching it. Can you not hear me stroke it?
Last time you didn't want to touch your Wii U. Now I don't want you stroking your Xbox.
I just realised, that soundbite could get really taken out of context, and should I ever make it big, I do not want this on record, so let's just move on.
This and the outtake from the start are going to just be gold, by the way. Sheer gold.
I'm loading Blacklist.
If you want to
go
get in touch with us, email braingohurty@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/braingohurty. There is a Steam community page. We do try to get in on Steam. We are on Steam most days, but yeah, so just look for Braingohurty there.
And also, the next podcast will be slightly delayed because he'll be on holiday in America. If you're in America and see him, feel free to, punish him.
People won't know where. If you see somebody going around kind of like clad in Union Jacks and
oh, good God.
I'm wearing a Union Jack t-shirt right now.
Why did you say that like du jour? T-shirt.
T-shirt. I don't know.
I'm wearing a t-shirt.
I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Right, the game's loading, and if you don't hurry up and end this, we're going to get a copyright strike because of the background noise.
Oh shit! Right, okay. I guess we're being dragged away to important matters.
Assassinate people poorly, probably, until we get our kung fu back.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the next exciting episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.